Welcome to Forbes Talks Shop, the series where we sit down with fascinating people to uncover the products that fuel their success. Today, we're joined by Jeni Britton, known for reinventing ice cream with Jeni's Splendid ice creams, and now shaking up the wellness snack world with her new venture, Flora, a fiber bar company built on flavor, innovation, and mindful ingredients. We'll talk about her rituals, the tools behind her brands, and how she navigates creativity across very different food categories. Let's get into it. Thank you so much for joining us today at Forbes Talks Shop.
I'm so happy to be here, and welcome to Columbus, my hometown.
Thank you. I'm excited to get into it with you. I know you have a lot of exciting things in the works. Let's talk about what you're most looking forward to this year. Tell me everything you're working on.
Oh my goodness,
I know there's a lot.
It has been a year, and yesterday was my birthday. I turned 52, so I'm looking at life from a little bit of a different perspective now. And I love it so much. You know, I didn't know what this part of my life would bring. It turns out, and I think a lot of people actually, a lot of women that I'm friends with are sort of experiencing the same thing, that like, there's like this renaissance that happens when you're somewhere in your late 40s. And that's really where I feel like I'm at. There's this kind of confluence of new opportunities, things that I'm really inspired by, and then also all of the experience that I've had in my life. I mean, I built Jeni's for 30 years. I was with Jeni's for 30 years almost. And that's just, it's crazy for me to think that, and so anyway, I've been able to sort of step away from the day-to-day over there and, you know, not intentionally go start another company, but I really did start learning about the microbiome, about health for the first time in my entire life.
Yeah.
Because as an entrepreneur, we don't often think about our own health. And realize that our population is really deficient in health, in fiber. And I was too. And once I started to get that squared away and really like fiber diversity, it immediately started making me feel actually great.
Really?
Really, really, really well. I'm not a big supplement person. I'm not a big gym person. I'm not, you know, I love the outdoors. So that became the biggest focus of my life, is learning about this and learning that like 60% of Americans have chronic illness, and most of that's diet related. 41% of kids. This can be solved. 41% of children, at least one chronic illness, and most of these can be solved through fiber. Many of them can at least be helped through fiber, because fiber is removed from our industrial food diet and all sorts of things. So once I got that bug as an entrepreneur, you know, you just kind of step into this life. It's like it's leading you.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at today. We launched Flora after 2 years behind the scenes work, because we take produce trimmings, like watermelon rind and apple cores, which are really loaded in fiber, more than the rest of the fruit. Mm-hmm. And we turn those into our like concentrated, diverse fiber bars. So we launched in January, finally. We're still very much working on the company and tightening all the screws, but it's been an incredible launch. And honestly, I couldn't believe it. So there I am, just right back into the middle of everything.
Right back in.
Yeah.
So it really started, it was an inspiration from your own personal wellness journey.
I think that's, you know, I would say Jeni's was like that too. When I was 22 and I was in art school and trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life, knowing that I had this sort of rebel personality, cowboy personality, couldn't really follow rules, really like constitutionally, I needed to be an entrepreneur, and found ice cream. But the other thing that I really needed, I think, was community, because I'd moved every year growing up. So I built one around ice cream, and that was really personal too.
Yeah.
You know, I think we get the best ideas when we listen to ourselves.
So tell me, I'm curious to get into all the ways that your daily routine has changed since you started a new company, but let's kick off with the mornings. Tell me about your morning rituals, kind of how you start your day now with your new brand, and kind of what fuels your success first thing in the morning. Are you a morning person?
Oh, I am not a morning person, but I am a night person. I am actually like I'm an evening person. So I structure my day when I know my brain works best. Mm-hmm. And that's really important to me. It's become very, very important to me, because otherwise I'm just spinning, or I'm just waiting. I found myself like sitting in front of my computer waiting for somebody to ask me something instead of actually doing the things that my brain is really good at. And so once I figured that out, I usually take afternoons off. I go to the forest. I go, you know, if I have to take a nap, I take a nap. I do whatever I need to do. I make dinner for my kids. We have dinner together. And then I go back to work in the evening when my brain is working, and then they're off doing their thing. But my mornings, because I'm not a morning person, I will still usually wake up 7:30, mm-hmm. and the thing that gets me out of bed is my coffee. I've become a coffee, like an espresso, cappuccino geek, which if you're ever on Reddit, going down these Reddit holes on cappuccino, I have this really wonderful little espresso maker that I love from a company called Gaja, and it's kind of like a little like, and I got it like modded out to the right specs and whatever. And so, it's become almost like a little hobby for mine. But because it's so delicious, and I just like, that's what gets me out of bed. That gets me up.
The one thing that gets her out of bed.
Yeah.
And any particular coffee brand?
Actually, I'm really into the La Colombe. They have one called Nizza, 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 and that's the one that I use every time. I've tried them all, and there's other ones that I like too, but that's the one that gives me the best crema and that sort of chocolatey. I love Italy, and in Italy, I don't know if you've noticed, but like in America, our espresso is really acidic.
Yes.
So you can't just drink an espresso like you can in Italy. In Italy, it's very much like chocolate. Like it's in that family of flavors. It's beautiful. So I've been looking for that American coffee that's like that. And part of it's just the pressure of the machines. So that's anyway. So yeah, I'm kind of a ridiculous nerd about that.
I do love my La Colombe.
Yes. Yeah, same. And La Colombe is cool too because they were around when I was just getting started. They were just getting started. So we were kind of parallel paths. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We've never met each other, but like we've done some events together in Philly, but I've never met the founders, but I think they're just wonderful and I follow their story too. So I love to be behind, like to buy things from people I believe in, companies I believe in.
All right, so you've got your coffee, you're out of bed. What's the one thing you reach for besides coffee in the morning?
Well, my life is really structured around getting enough sleep,
yeah,
or walk in the forest every day, and getting my 30 plants a week. The next thing that I do, the next thing I put in my gut is fiber, because I want to feed my microbes first. That's basically what I say, because fiber has been around. I mean, obviously, this is like in the conversation about nutrition since the beginning, right? We all know to eat fiber, and even colorful fiber, but we don't. The part of the conversation I think that's new is that it isn't just about gut motility, because I feel like that's what it's about. Like you think Metamucil, you think, oh yeah, that's for like old people or pregnant people or something. The new part of the discussion is actually the chemicals and the that your microbes are giving off in your gut. Mm-hmm. So you can turn on and off different microbes based on what you're feeding them. And we have all of this chronic illness related to fiber and the lack of fiber. And how can Flora shift this conversation to the positive?
Yeah, anything we can do, right, at this point.
Exactly. Yes. And it's something as simple as fiber.
Yeah.
But it's about diversity. So you want to get your 30 plants a week. So Flora, we have 12 plants in each bar, and that's helping you get that fiber diversity, not just fiber.
Starting the day off right.
Starting the day off.
Essentials.
Feed your microbes first.
Fiber and coffee. I love it.
Yes.
And then how do you set yourself up for your day? What does your day look like? I'm sure every day is different as an entrepreneur, but do you work from home? Do you have a desk set up? What is that? Walk us through what that looks like for you.
Yeah, I do have a desk set up. I do work at home. I'm between New York and Columbus, so I'm New York probably 3 weeks out of the month. And I have an apartment there, and my apartment also serves as our headquarters for Flora. So we're meeting there a couple times a week, sometimes. And every day for me is very different. And so I am the CEO of Flora, but I'm also more like, I'm the founder. And, I have an amazing team around this company. One of my partners, my co-founder in the company, Mark, was my coach and business advisor at Jeni's. So he was outside of the company, but he was the guy I relied on the most to help me through as we grew. And he's amazing. So he's kind of my partner in this. And then we have an amazing team. So between, every day for me is very different. I'm often out talking about fiber, being an evangelist, but I'm also inside of the company. We spent last week in Chicago reformulating our bars. They're incredible. We have a chocolate one coming out next year that is just like mind-blowingly amazing. We're going to crave it. We're all going to crave it. It's delicious. So there will be days spent doing that. Lots of quality stuff. Sometimes, it's everything from customer service emails, to just having our strategy sessions and working on our marketing plans. And we just hired a creative director, which is our 4th hire at Flora, but that's, I think, telling of how important creative just work is right now in our current world and the world of business. So it literally is so many different things. I even sometimes get overwhelmed at it.
I'm sure. Yeah. Many hats. So if you have a big meeting coming up, a special event, what's your power wardrobe? What do you gravitate towards in terms of style that makes you feel set up for success?
I love a slightly oversized suit. I like, and then with a tight waist, and usually a t-shirt or something. I really like that. So it's a little slouchy, but it's definitely like, and I can put heels on or I can put flats, and I'm always sleeves up. So that's a go-to for me. And I have a couple of, I have like a brown one, and a tan one, and a black one, and sometimes I just wear that with jeans. But the other thing that I will still wear all the time, especially if I'm out at a grocery store giving samples or doing the work, often in the produce company that we work at, or when we're producing the bars, I'm always in a white Oxford and jeans. I wear it all the time at Jeni's, really for years and years. So I have probably 20 white Oxfords, and I wear them all the time, different kinds, but I like a white shirt and jeans, sometimes tucked, sometimes untucked.
It's so classic.
It's classic, and it's like, I think to me, it says I'm about to go to work and do physical work. And I like physical work.
Yeah.
So I roll up my sleeves and just literally get in and do it.
Get in and do it.
Your clothes it's a story you're telling, yourself first, and then the world. And so I really believe in the characters that I put on every day. I love them. I have a lot of people who live inside of me. I have a mom that lives inside of me, and a partner lives inside of me, like all these different characters. Yeah. And sometimes I put on my clothes, and that's the character I go into the world with.
I love that. Do you have a favorite white Oxford?
I actually do. I love, Air, the company Air. Theirs is awesome. Theirs is actually my favorite. I have two or three of them. Actually. Yeah. They're actually sometimes hard to find. Like when you just want a good white Oxford. Everlane sometimes has one, or maybe they always have one now. But my favorite is really the Air one. It's the one I go to all the time. And I take them to the cleaner and have them starched, because I like to start with starch.
And
they last
crisp.
Yeah, I like it when they're crisp. And eventually they get uncrisp.
Yeah.
And some of them I actually wash too. J. Crew has one that right now that's like kind of voluminous, and it has like a big, it's a little different. It's very cute. And I sometimes will just put that through the washer, because I like it when it's like softer.
Yeah, it depends on which one you're going for, right? The look
exactly.
you're going for. Love it. Tell us a little bit more about your workspace. Your desk setup. Are you a work from a desk person? Are you a slouch on the couch person when you're working from home?
I will do everything. I do like a desk. I like to be formal about it, but like table, desk, and when I say formal about it, I just like to sit and have that and know that that's my space. Part of, again, for me, like I like to get into character. And when I'm in character, then I can be very focused. And my brain tends to be an expansive, I think probably a lot of founders have these like ADHD brain or whatever, very expansive, over the horizon thinking. So getting me to get into focus it can be a challenge.
Yeah.
But when I do, then I stay in it. But partly it's like building that space, So I like to be in like a setting that feels formal and not relaxed, So like not on the couch. Phone is in another room.
Smart.
Kind of that. Or I'm actually doing, of course, we all do so much work on our phones too. So there's always that happening. I can type without looking on my phone. So I'm walking through the airport, literally typing a document, I wrote both of my books on my phone. So I really I'm a one-finger typer, and I can type without looking. So it's a pretty funny thing.
That is impressive.
But yeah.
Is there one item on your desk that you cannot do your job without?
Pens and paper. I studied art. And my grandmother is an artist. My mom was a commercial or a graphic designer when I was growing up. And so I've always thought that I move thoughts. Some people play violin or play music or whatever. I move thoughts through my body by drawing or writing. So even when I'm in a meeting, I'll use my pad of paper and pen just to how sometimes you get an idea because somebody sparks an idea?
Yeah.
I don't want to keep thinking about it when they're talking. So I just write something down that remind me of it so I can listen to them. And then I go back to that when they finish or when it's my turn or whatever. And then sometimes I just have to be doodling in order to be focused. But I also am a big, I need to see what it looks like when it's written in order for me to remember it in many ways. And so just, having that pen and paper, it helps me memorize things. It helps move thoughts through my body. And so I have a stack of notebooks. And if you went to them, they don't make sense. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you'll see writing in there from 10 years ago and then next to writing today. They're not linear and they're not specific, but it's more like whatever it is I'm doing right now, and I just need something as an assist for whatever else I'm working on.
Do you have an opinion on pens? I know people get very passionate about their pen brand. Are you one of those people?
I do. I really do. I found a store in New York. It's the McNally Jackson. Is that it? She has I think a stationery store next to it. It might be related, it may not be, but they have a whole bunch of pens. There's all these beautiful Japanese pens, and of course you can spend hundreds of dollars on them.
Of course.
But there's also the $14 pens that are sort of disposable, but barely or something. And I love those stores. But yeah, no, I like a pen that's a thin pen but has lots of ink.
It has to have a lot of ink.
Yeah, I don't like to
so annoying when
drag
it's
it. I
on.
don't like friction when I'm writing, but I also don't like a thick pen anymore. I like it when it's thin. Yeah.
See? Opinion.
Yes,
Everyone
very
feels
much.
passionately about this subject.
Yeah, I was just trying to think if I brought one of those with me in my bag. I don't think I have that Japanese one, but it is very cool.
And you said you travel a lot, especially you're always going back and forth between Ohio and New York.
Speaking of, actually, the inn at Six Bells, which I was just at in upstate New York, it's such a sweet little inn that was made by the woman, Audrey, who started The Wing. She has incredible pens up there. Like right now, actually, her pen is one of my favorite pens.
Oh,
You never know where it's
interesting.
going to come from.
You
Sometimes,
never know. It's also just a memory from the place that you visited, which is cool,
but
right?
it writes really well. And it's like really heavy. And I feel like hotels don't have these like incredible pens anymore. Yeah,
Definitely
but she
don't.
does.
You have to
They
search.
do.
You have to search deep.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you're traveling, because you're always back and forth, what are your travel essentials? Are you a packing cube person? What kind of helps fuel your success while you're on the road?
Yeah, I'm traveling all the time. And I was in New York in hotels every other week for the last year. Now I have an apartment, but so I'm very much an efficient packer. I also like to do things. So a lot of times I'll have like different events throughout the day.
Uh-huh.
I'll have an appearance somewhere or a meeting somewhere, all different stuff. And then I have like arts things in the evening or my friends or whatever, or we'll go to the symphony or whatever. So like my boyfriend lives in New York, so it's, then there's that. But so I try to like pack in ways that like is kind of interchangeable. So I'll have a scarf that I can wear with my blazer and jeans, or I can wear it in the evening out. Like I love silk scarves. I've collected them for just a couple of years, but I really love them. I mean, they're so beautiful. White t-shirt is always on my list. This is like the Jenny Kane, little simple cardigan, that kind of stuff. Just stuff that can like really classic American style, but like with some kind of something else, so yeah.
It also makes it easier when you're traveling to
Absolutely.
pack that way, right? Instead of like specific pieces that you can't
Everything is
repeat.
interchangeable, and that's really
Has
important.
to be.
Except I will say that I'm such a sleep person, and the way that I learned to start going to bed earlier after I had children, I had to get up so early, and that was like not going to change for a long time, is that I started wearing beautiful pajamas. So I started
Really?
collecting pajamas when my kids were little, and they're now 16 and 18 years old. And so I have really beautiful silk pajamas and like silk slips and things like that. So for me, it's a ritual at night. So I travel with like these Arak, Arak, the company. They make these beautiful slips, and I travel with those because they're so little, and they never wrinkle.
Right, they take up zero space. in
And
your
that's
suitcase.
and that's always some pop of like bright pink, almost a neon pink or blue or something that I can add to that. And it's like, even if I'm traveling, that's like still my ritual is to get into like a space with a book, not a phone, a book, silk pajamas, and maybe a tea in the night so that I can sleep, so that I can be ready for the day.
Whether you're traveling or not, it sounds like that's an active part of your everyday routine is like the wind down for the evening. And I know you said you were a night person. So tell me about the rest of your evening routine. Are you a podcast person? Today you are. What else are you doing in the evenings to kind of like just wind down, take a second for yourself, and like de-stress your brain and your mind?
It's so important for us to do this. What I usually try to do is 2 hours before I want to be asleep. I give myself 2 hours. I always have something that I'm curious about. There's always something that I'm on a big tear about. Right now I'm in Ancestry, so I found ancestors from the Mayflower that I'm descended from, and like I'm really learning about their story. I'm learning about the Native American story at the time, and I'm deep into it. It's fun for me. It's a way to get me off of the social media, social things,
Yeah.
even podcasts and all of that, and into something that I find incredibly fascinating. I mean, even like little projects like I have a friend who has a company called 831 Stories, and it's a romance novel company. It is so cool. And I love the idea of bringing romance novels back because I think we are so non-sensual in America,
Yeah.
We need that back in our lives. And so I was like, well, I wonder if I could write a romance novel. So just for fun, not to be anywhere, not to get published. I spent, a month writing 3 chapters of a very spicy romance novel that will never see the light of day.
I hope it
But
does.
this is what I do to take my mind away from everything else and just focus on something that doesn't put me in the middle of social media or in controversy or wherever, so that when I'm going to sleep, actually, I also think what you think about before you sleep is like how you end up dreaming and
Absolutely.
whatever. So
it's
yeah.
wild how true that is. Is there any particular book that's inspired you over the years?
Oh, so many books. Oh my goodness. I have to think about I don't know why it's coming to mind right now, probably because I've read it like 3 times. I just love it so much. It's a book called The Swerve by Stephen Greenblatt about the Renaissance and sort of Middle Ages turning into the Renaissance and this swerve that happened. It's a wonderful book, and I think like so much of history is so much richer than we'll ever really understand, and it's so much more complex.
Yeah.
And I love to channel that and really try to get into that. I think that kind of thinking is almost like time travel. You think with your body when you're really reading history deeply, and I just find it all so fascinating.
One more thing of evening routine. Tell me if there's anything specific that really helps fuel your sleep. Like, are you a sound machine person?
Oh yeah, actually that's
tracker?
True. I have my Aura ring, which I love. I love to know because usually you already know that if I didn't sleep well, but it's confirming.
Which could help or not, depending on how you look at it.
Yes, and I like that, you're just kind of tracking things, and so you kind of get this like baseline, and you kind of just get where you're at. It's just more of it's kind of fun to check in on that. I do like brown noise, and I've been a big fan of that for a long time. It's just like, I have an eye mask, like a silk eye mask from Manta. I don't know if I bought it on Instagram like everybody else, but it is the best one. I've had many eye masks in my life, and it is, in my mind, the best one. It has like these donuts around your eyes, and anyway, it's beautiful. I have this gorgeous silk one from them, and it puts me in a cave. Like, it just puts me in like a cave. I'm usually asleep in moments after that.
That's
Once I get all
amazing.
those things around, I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah, you need all those little things to make the perfect.
Yes.
Space
And I
for
will add that because we didn't talk about the afternoon, we had went a lot of directions, but usually I try to walk in the forest every day. That's my afternoon thing, when I sort of take my time when my brain's not necessarily working. I go out and either walk by the river or the forest. We have 5 rivers here in Columbus. We have
Wow.
miles and miles, hundreds of miles of trails actually in the city. And then right outside of the city, within a half an hour drive from where I live, is the beginning of the Appalachian Mountains. I mean, these are not big mountains, but they are very ancient. And so I love to be out there and like just channel that spirit. You can see mounds from the native tribes that were there. You can just like feel the ghosts of these forests. And they're really beautiful kind of old growth forests that I love to walk in. It's partly exercise. Obviously, walking is exercise. I like to walk a few miles a day.
Yeah.
But it's also like just letting your brain stop thinking. And then
So
I
important.
always end up coming out of that with solving some challenge that I've got in my life by not thinking about
That's
it.
your creative space, the forest.
Yeah,
I love
definitely.
Now we're going to get into the best part, which is a round of this or that.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Morning person or night owl?
Definitely night.
Coffee or tea?
Oh, both for sure. Am
Both.
I allowed to say both? Because I have a tea at night almost always. It's vanilla tea from the Republic of Tea. They make this incredible vanilla,
Yum.
and I almost have it every night, at least in the winter.
Notebook and pen or digital app?
Oh gosh, I love a notebook, but for actual note taking, it's an app.
Ice cream scoop or snack bar?
I am going ice cream all the way because I am every night I'm eating ice cream.
Are you?
Oh, pretty
What's
much,
the flavor
yeah.
that you always gravitate towards?
I mean, not because yesterday was my birthday. Literally, the birthday cake right now I'm just obsessed with, and that's the
So
Jeni's
good.
flavor. But we made this a few years ago, and I had a friend of mine in Atlanta who her business is blending sprinkles and dry ingredients.
What a cool job. I want
know
that job.
So she and I went. We blended this adorable sprinkle thing for this, and I was like, it has to have blue flowers in it because when you're a kid, you think in all the cartoons the birthday cakes are like multi-tiered and they have like blue flowers on them and roses, but then you go to your birthday cake and it's like a flat pan of cake,
Right.
or whatever, which is, I mean, it's all good, it's all delicious.
It's okay, but still.
But where's the cartoon birthday cake? And so that was kind of what we made for this flavor, is like buttercream
Yum.
with cake in it, and it's incredible.
I love it. Sweet or savory breakfast?
Sweet. Yeah.
Big city energy or nature retreat?
I am actually really both. I can't do big city energy without nature, and I don't think I could just live in nature either. I have to have I have to be in the middle of things too. I'm very much an introvert, but I love people. So I can handle like a couple hours, but then I got to get to nature.
Yes, fair. Mentoring or building something new?
Oh, I want so badly to say mentoring. I'll spend my whole life mentoring and championing young people, and I will get there. When I'm like, but I'm still too restless. I have to be building something.
Road trip or direct flight?
Direct flight.
Baking in the kitchen or lab bench experimentation?
Oh, for sure, lab bench. Yeah,
A long walk or intense activity?
long walk. I mean, I'll walk the whole day if you let me walk the whole day.
I'm the same
I can
way.
never stop. I can walk. I keep thinking I'm going to walk across the country someday because I feel like I could really do that.
I love it.
I need to get a sponsor for that.
You do.
Get like Hoka or somebody like, hey,
Exactly.
will you just keep sending me tennis shoes and I'll just keep walking?
Keep walking.
Yeah.
Jeni, thank you so much for joining us today. It was so lovely
Thank
chatting
you.
with you, and I'm excited for all things Flora coming up.
Well, thank you so much. It was so much fun to be here.
What a treat. Check out Jeni's favorite products in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe for more episodes of Forbes Talks Shop, where we spotlight creators, innovators, and their tools of transformation.